What's going on, brothers and sisters? I want to welcome you guys to Listener Feedback, episode number 56. And in this episode, we got a full show today. First up, Mr. OG himself, Triple OG, Cody Clark, has written in yet again. And I am so very appreciative for your emails, brother. We also have the good brother writing in for another week, Mr. Crimson Never Misses Phoenix. My brother has wrote in yet again with another great email, and I can't wait to get into your thoughts. And we also have the brother that I like to call the reliable one, Mr. C. Jack. Man, you loaded me up, brother, and I am very happy and look forward to going over your emails and your voicemail. And we also have, oh man, this brother right here, I got to cut this down, man. We also have, writing in this week, another brother who has been a pillar, not only inside the Analog Circle, but also this brother has been inside of the Analog Circle Facebook group for years, where you can find him posting the latest news stories, the latest gaming news stories. And this brother right here, I call him the fighting connoisseur, Mr. One Subset. Brother, I am so glad that you wrote in this week. I thank all of you brothers for writing in this week, and we're about to get into it momentarily. But with that being said, if you want to be a part of the next listener feedback, you can do it two different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard, or you can email the show. And the email address is simply the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. So in this episode this week, we'll be covering concerns regarding the gaming industry trends that are happening. We get some feedback on Xbox's new leadership. Can new IPs, this is a good question, can new IPs survive in this climate? We get actually a little bit of insight on what someone actually purchased. So we're going to go over new game purchases as well. And backlog woes. My gosh, I think we all can contend the backlog is crazy right now. Absolutely insanity at its highest level. We'll definitely be talking about that. And Xbox possibly putting the brakes, as it were, on putting their games on other platforms. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get things started with the good brother, the Triple OG himself, Mr. Cody Clark. Now, the title of his email, and by the way, hold on. Before I go any further, I got to show so much gratitude to all of you brothers for writing in. This is yet again, because I can't just start without thanking y'all for this. This has been by far, and I'm talking by a country, man, forget a mile, 25 country miles. This has been the longest and the most consistent I've been able to be with listener feedback, and it is all thanks to you guys. So shout out to y'all. Man, it feels amazing. Y'all most certainly power the show, and without y'all, it doesn't happen. So I appreciate y'all, and I most certainly appreciate you guys that are the listeners that are listening every single week. Couldn't do this without y'all. But with that being said, we're going to get things started with Mr. Cody Clark's first email that is titled Control Pump Delete. Now, you know, Mr. Clark, this brother definitely, he gives me War and Peace emails, my brother. I mean, they're pretty lengthy, and I appreciate them. So we're going to go to the breakdown. So we're going to be analyzing Xbox multi-platform strategy, predicting Microsoft will abandon, like we were talking about before, exclusive titles for larger market reach, and Mr. Cody Clark, the brother himself, he speculates on Microsoft may aggressively restructure Xbox if current player-focused initiatives fail to increase market share. So here we go. Mr. Cody Clark starts off by saying, I think in the long run of the next 5 to 10 years, Xbox dealing with first-party exclusives and sharing games with other platforms will continue on like it has been. Oh, that hurts. He says they will say some nice things, then release a game. It will do mid numbers, and a year later, they will claim due to larger models and realties of the business, it made more sense to relax their first-party exclusives projects. God, Cody, that would hurt, brother. That would absolutely hurt. That they would still continue to move on and just say, look, it was just the logistics of it just made better sense. Let me continue on with your email. He says, if the Xbox has 40 million units sold, but can also ship games for a system that has 120 million units sold, or whatever, PS4 plus 5, Nintendo R, ATM, then it would be silly to lock yourself into an ecosystem of 1/3 the users. Hey, Cody, man, you know I like to take your stuff bar for bar, line for line. Man, listen, Cody, I understand what you're saying from a money standpoint, and we get it. That's what matters at the end of the day. It's not personal. People have to make money, or businesses have to continue to make money. They have to generate that in order to stay in business, in order to keep people around. So I get it from that standpoint. But we both know, Cody, how much damage has been done to the Xbox brand thus far. And by them continuing to do this, that 40 million might dwindle down to 30 million, then 20 million. Then what do you do, Cody? If you're trying to have the Xbox brand compete with the other two brands, Nintendo and Sony, what do you do if your numbers keep depleting and going down more and more because you're not giving, because they're not giving it away for free, but they're selling their games on other platforms? I think that if what they say that they're trying to do, and that is compete, if they're trying to compete, I think that they hurt themselves. I think we all can agree that they hurt themselves by doing this. But also, at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it is about how much money you can generate, because you got to keep your doors open. But let me continue with your email here, Cody. We got quite a bit more to cover. He says Microsoft is in a messy spittle fight with OpenAI. Oh man, they are getting, AI is ridiculous right now. Isn't the brother up there that's in charge, isn't he having to kind of retract on a couple of things? Things are not going well in the AI space when it comes to Satya Nadella and some of the moves that he made around that. He says, and not sharing their lunch money anymore. And then also, quote, low key, end of quote, cuts pilot features it was going to add to Xbox. I remember seeing that just last week. They were saying that some of those features, the Copilot, they were going to be getting rid of that outside of the console. I thought that was excellent. That's what really got me hyped up, Cody. I said, man, finally, they're just going to look at it as a console only. Of course, brother, listen, after I saw that Stranger in Heaven promo that they cut, and they showed PlayStation 5 at the end of it, man, brother, doggone it, y'all all know, that hurt my doggone soul. Brother was sitting there, saw the PS5 logo, man. I almost shed a tear, brother. almost shed a tear. I said, man, all this energy, all this time, all of these, I mean, it ain't been that long, been a little over 2 months, but I'm like, golly, all of this great will, I'm all excited. These jokers are finally showing up, and then at the end of your presentation on your YouTube channel, you show also coming to PlayStation 5. Golly, it was a blow, Cody. It hurt me, brother. But let me continue on with your email. He says, well, he said, I say, quote, low key, end of quote, but the new team running Xbox sure does seem to like to say they are sticking it to the upper management and standing up for Xbox players. I mean, this sounds good. He says, this smells like a, quote, make it indie, end of quote, plot from a bad 2010s TV show, if you ask me. So hold on, Cody. So Cody, as I read your email, brother, and you always let me know if I made a mistake. Oh, by the way, I get into that. You did tell me about a mistake that I made before, where you were actually talking about Xbox Gold. You weren't talking about Game Pass. That email that you had sent me, and I was like, nah, Game Pass is pretty dope. You were talking about Xbox Gold. So that was my fault. But again, to that point, I know if I get it wrong, you will correct me. So you're saying basically, Cody, that them acting like they're running this marathon and it's all about Xbox. We are Xbox. It's all about the console. You're saying this is smoke and mirrors. You're saying that they are pretty much telling the consumer what they want to hear, but behind the scenes, they sitting there saying, none of us believe this is the truth. We're just going to keep on stringing these guys along, and once we can detach fully, that's when we're going to drop the hammer. That would be tough, Cody. That would be rough, man. I would truly hope that doesn't end up being the case, because I have truly, truly enjoyed this small run that Microsoft has been on. It's been something that has really helped them to at least start to get back in my good graces again. As stranger than heaven. Hell, that was definitely Xbox PTSD for me when I saw that. But we'll try to get past that and move forward. But like I said, moving forward, Cody, let's get into the rest of your email here, my brother. He says, if this does not put Xbox back in the good graces, here we go, back in the good graces of players and significant jump their market share in a relatively short time, I expect Microsoft to not use a scalpel, but a butcher's cleaver to the entire organization. Look at any mega organization that had a smell bouquet special group contained within. No, boutique, pardon me, not a bouquet, boutique. Well, listen, and then Cody, to be fair, now, if that does happen, and they've tried everything they can, they're possibly, let's just go with the scenario that they put the games only on Xbox. It's exclusive. Microsoft takes that gamble. They roll the dice, and they say all games are now exclusive on Xbox from this point on. And it still fails, and it doesn't move the barometer. People aren't buying Xboxes in droves or buying them enough to make it feel, at least for Microsoft, sufficient enough for them to continue to do that model. Then at that point in time, I couldn't even blame them at all. I don't think most of us would be, of course, I think a lot of us would be sad to see the Xbox brand go and not be a console anymore. But I think for the most part, most of us just want to see what happens. Try it. Just try it first. And if it doesn't succeed, then okay, it's all fair. Everything is all fair. If you gotta cut it up and, like you said, they're not gonna take a scalpel to it. You're just gonna take a doggone, what you say, a butcher? What you say, a cleaver? Yeah, they just gonna butcher it up, man. And if that does happen, and they just got the chainsaw it apart, then it is what it is. But at least they will go out fighting. And I do believe that as long as because the key is, and we all know this, I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't already know. If you have awesome games on your platform, and you can only get those games on that platform, that's more than half the battle. I'll say that's half the battle. If you got games that people want, you're already halfway there. Now you just got to work on the price and work on the features and things of that nature, but you can figure that out. But as I look at what Microsoft has been producing lately, Cody, man, Forza Horizon 6, man, that joker is getting unbelievable reviews. 10 out of 10s, my brother. The game is insanely polished, according to so many reviewers. That is incredible. Now, I know people are going to say, man, it's Forza. They always get good scores. I understand it, but doggone, take a minute out just to appreciate what they're doing so far. They've been on a pretty good run, Cody, as far as their games go. And I think that if they continue with that run, people will mess with the brand. They will get an Xbox. Imagine, Cody. Oh my goodness, just imagine this, brother. Horizon 6 doesn't go over the PlayStation. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine how the PlayStation fans would react if they said, Xbox that is, that Forza Horizon 6 is no longer coming to the PlayStation 5 console?
Y'all killing me with this.
They would be hurt. They would be so hurt. Oh, man, especially after the way Forza Horizon 5 sold. Oh, they want it, buddy. Oh, they want the game. My goodness, they do. And I'm talking about they like I don't exist on the PlayStation 5 myself.
Look at all this movement, man.
Oh, man. I'm up there trying to distance myself. Nah, man, what I'm saying is, listen, I don't really play racing games, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest at all. I'm not playing Gran Turismo. I'm not playing Forza. The last car game I really played was like Burnout, which was amazing. I like those kind of games. You know, so when you talk about Horizon, I could care less. But that joker is scoring and scorching up the gaming street. So all I'm saying is if they could continue this trajectory, put some other dope games over there on Xbox, make people want to get those games, man, come on, man. I think they can have a darn good run at it. But let me continue with your email here, Cody. Man, I told you, Cody gonna start us off, man, with War and Peace. Let me continue. He says, the odd man out. Sony/PlayStation. Sony was a mega component TV computer and hardware force, but they sold thousands of their patents and sold parts of their TV, camera, and component manufacturing plans to Samsung and other competitors. I did not know that. I know that they have a ton of patents that they're always putting out. I don't think we even see a quarter of those patents actually come to fruition, but I know that they definitely do a ton of those. But who knew that Samsung actually got it along with other competitors? He says, when we think Sony, we don't think cameras or PCs. We think PlayStation. You are not lying about that. Absolutely. Anytime you say Sony, it's like PlayStation has to follow in that sentence. You know, when they, like you said, they got cameras, they have movie studios, they got music. I mean, they got their hands in a little bit of everything. Now, all of those different arms, might not be doing so great. PlayStation seems to be doing a lot better than their other businesses, but you are right. Sony and PlayStation are linked forever as far as like just the namesake goes. But he says if it wasn't for Spider-Man, they would probably not have a movie division anymore either. Interesting. He says PlayStation seems to be keeping, quote, Sony alive, and I don't think Microsoft will be willing to let that occur. We said keeping Sony well, quote Sony, end of quote, alive, and I don't think Microsoft will be willing to let that occur. He says $600 million a year and life-changing. I mean, a year is life-changing to us plebes, but to a $1 trillion company that is Microsoft, that is simply one fiscal quarter. God, just imagine that, 600 million. Gee. Hey. That's a bar right there. Yeah, 600 million. You kidding me? 600 million? My goodness, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm going to see y'all good brothers. I'm going to fly y'all out. We going to all get together. Everything is going to be great. But I'm gone. You ain't going to see me no more. I'm going to be underground somewhere. 600 million? God, dog. But let me continue with your email here, Cody. He says, let me see, Microsoft, he says $600 million a year is life-changing to us plebes, but to a $1 trillion company that is Microsoft, that is simply one fiscal quarter. They can just do a stock buyback and wipe it out. Golly, Cody, this was heavy, my brother. This was heavy. Woo! Man, listen, Cody, I am hoping. I mean, this was a lot to break down. I'm simply hoping that they will try the strategy, give it a shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. PlayStation, like you mentioned, well, Sony, pardon me, along with PlayStation, like you mentioned, is holding Sony up. Sony been going through it though, man. Cody, they got so many different trials that are going on where they're getting hit up for hundreds of millions of dollars, having a giveaway. Well, not giveaway because they owe it to the people, but having so many cases against them, and Bungie and tore them to a whole nother oblivion to a certain degree when it comes to them actually getting a profit off of them. They have really, really put them in a bad situation. But Sony themselves did this. Make no mistake about it. I was doggone Jim Ryan that put these jokers in that predicament, because we were never, ever looking for Sony, PlayStation, to start doing all of these gas games. Who the world asked y'all to do this? I understand you got to do it to get some revenue and things of that nature, but we want your single player games. Don't start putting a huge emphasis on your multiplayer games. They're not going to sell. So it's up to them to get all of that together, figure that whole situation out, because if they don't, they can't keep on taking too many more of these hits. I mean, they already lost Blue Point this year, another studio that was more of a mobile studio. They closed down, not too big of, well, it's always a big deal when people lose their livelihood, their job, so I'm not saying it to that perspective, but as far as it being, a major developer, they were on the mobile side. They got cut. They got to get it together, man. It's a very, very interesting time, and we'll just have to see how it all plays out, Cody. My goodness, man. But, yeah, hopefully Microsoft, they will at least try for a little bit, and whatever happens, happens. I think we could all live with it, and like Cody said, hey, that's $600 million. That's a fiscal quarter. They'll just buy some stock and, stock buy and wipe it out, so it ain't even a big deal. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But so wait a minute. So, Cody, you got to tell me this, brother. Before I move on to the next email, you got to let me know. So you truly think that it's all going to be the same? This is all smoke and mirrors. Asha, she's just putting on a good show. The Xbox team is putting on a good show, and it's all going to be the same. Nothing is going to change in your mind. Let me know if that's what all of this is lead to, Cody, because I'm curious, my brother. But let's go ahead, though, guys. I know I got another email for you, Cody, and I'm going to get to that one momentarily. But I take these in the order that I get them. So up next, we got Mr. Crimson Phoenix. Yes, indeed. Now, the title of his email is, "It Was a No-Brainer." He says, I basically got half off with the code bought the game Pragmata. Oh, another sale for Pragmata. I love it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, buddy. A new IP. Yes, sir. He says, oh man, but Crimson Phoenix did say, don't know when I'll play it though. Oh man, the backlog is real, brother. He says, don't know when I'll play it though. It'll be in my backlog for who knows how long. He says, aside from that, I just finished Mixtape. Oh man, you know, Mixtape got a lot of things going on with that. People are calling this game a plant. Some people are saying it's not that great. You know, people are mad at it. It's a game I actually want to play. I actually want to check it out. Those kind of games, I enjoy those kinds of games, man, where it's not all about the action all the time. You know, I think I would give it a shot. I think it's only like $20. But he says, pretty good game. Or at least I enjoyed it. Got the nostalgia feels. Just got to clean up 2 achievements, and then I'm done. Oh, and he said, and it's in Game Pass. A Game Pass game. Hi, this brother right here, man. I love it. Listen, Crimson never misses Phoenix. This brother is definitely a Game Pass fan, and I'm not mad at it. Like I say, every single time, Crimson, how can I say, man, the value is there. It's definitely there. You know, it just depends on your gaming habits. And right now, this brother played Mixtape inside of Game Pass and said and enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Got a little nostalgia. I know it's heavy on the music. That's what I hear too. Very heavy on the music. They're getting ready to get out of high school, trying to figure out what their life is going to be. And, you know, that's kind of like the premise, you know, in a 2-second snapshot of, you know, what the game is about. Definitely something I would like to experience. He says, my next play is, I'm a butcher this, man. Good grief, because y'all know reading is fundamental. Aphelion, I think it's called Aphelion. He said it's a sci-fi game set on another planet where you play as 2 different characters, navigating rough terrain on a mission to find out if the planet would work as a new home for humanity to survive on. Says it's in. His brother said, you know what he said. It's in Game Pass and it's in your fave. And this brother right here. Oh man, he knows I'm a sucker for that Unreal Engine 5, man. Oh, this brother knows I am a sucker for the Unreal Engine 5, Joy. Anything running UE5, I want to see what it's about. Man, that's pretty doggone dope. Now you're going to make me YouTube it and check it out. But this brother said it is in Game Pass. My gosh. He says it will also be mixing. He says will also be mixing in a little bit of Subnautica too. A lot of people are talking about that game. I never even really thought to play the first one. It looked interesting, but I'm like, I don't know about that. It looks okay. But people seem to really enjoy this game. He says, let me start that over. He says, I will also be mixing in a little bit of Subnautica 2, playing it with the wifey with whom I share my Game Pass sub with, so we can each have a system and play together without second sub saving me double on that game. Golly! Oh man, so you can double it up, my brother. That's crazy. And he says, and also on Unreal Engine 5. Golly. Man, this brother eating good right now. Man, let me go ahead and finish up your email. That's dope, though, that you and the missus get a chance to, actually play the games with each other, or you guys can play them separately and y'all all get to enjoy Game Pass as a whole. And you get double because it's 2 of y'all. That's pretty doggone awesome, man. Saving him double on that game. That's lovely. He says, so yeah, always plenty to play with Game Pass. Top tier titles too, not just slop. He says, P.S. Listen, you know what? I got to tell you this too, Crimson. When C-Jack had told me that Space Marine 2 and Star Wars Outlaws was inside of Game Pass, I'm telling you, I was blown away. Those games aren't that old. So just those two games alone. Then you got all of the first-party titles. Y'all know how I'm loving Senua's Saga. You know, Senua's Saga. Then you got all of the other first-party games. You got Doom inside of there. You know, Gears. The list just goes on. And you got the third-party support. So, yeah, I agree with you. That is not slop. That is, Crimson, that's some prime time. That's some prime gaming time eating right there, my brother. I mean, seriously. He says, P.S. He says, update. Woo! This brother said, I'm currently at 300. Wow! He's at 345,950 gamer score. Gee! Whoa! Man, 345,950. This brother said, can't tell me I'm not getting my money's worth. Golly. Hey, listen, brother, I think, oh, I don't even think I broke 100,000 when it came to getting doggone achievements.
Move this man.
Man, listen. Listen, y'all know me. I'm not chasing the achievements. Not like that, but God, dog, that is insane. 345,950. Man, out of curiosity, you got me asking a question now. Crimson, what is everybody's gamer score? I'm just curious to know, what is everybody's game score? I don't know what mine is. Quite honestly, I think when I left off on the Xbox One, man, I might have been at, man, shucks. If I was to have combined it, if I was to have taken over the gamer score from 360 to Xbox One, I mean, I might have been at about, I don't know, 40, maybe 50,000 gamer score. It wasn't anything crazy at all. But I would say I was probably at about no more than 50. And I think I'm pushing it with that. But for you to have 345,000, almost 346,000 for a gamer score, brother, you ain't lying, brother. You out here definitely. And this brother's eating extremely well, man. Wow. I had to run that back. That's amazing, man. But let me finish up your email. Doggone. He says, PSS. He says, stop just buying games and play them. He says, if I had $1 for every time I heard you say it's still in the wrapper or unopened or untouched, that brother said, I'd be rich.
Show me the money.
Hey, Crimson, man, you ain't lying. I don't know how many games I got in the wrapper. I got so many that are up there. My back catalog is it's just, man, it's egregious. It is gaming sinful at the end of the day because it is gaming gluttony at its highest level. I got a lot of gaming gluttony going on right now, and you know what? I might have a bit of a problem. I might just have a tad bit of a problem buying these games and not getting to them fast enough. But let me see. Let me finish up your email. Oh, man, he said, all in good fun, CPD. Nah, shout out to you, Crimson. It is always so awesome to hear from you, my brother. And for that 345,950 gamer score, brother, that's platinum to me, man. Golly. That's platinum status. That's incredible, man. Crimson, I always, brother, appreciate hearing from you. I'm so glad, though, man. You know, with all of the joking, you know, put to the side, because I know I love joking with y'all, brothers. It makes it so much more fun. And I appreciate the fact that y'all know it's all in good fun, all in great banter, back and forth with each other. But at the end of it, though, Crimson, man, Game Pass, just between you and C-Jack talking about the games that are in there, your experiences, your gamer score, definitely showing off that you are using every single bit of that Game Pass subscription to your advantage, my brother. Having access to so many games, saving so much money on a monthly basis. You're going to be able to play Forza 6 in a day or two. I think it actually releases on Game Pass. I know it came out early. It was early access, but I know it's going to be in Game Pass soon. Matter of fact, let's look it up real quick, Crimson, because that's going to be another game you'll be eating on too, my brother. When does Forza Horizon 6 release inside of Game Pass? Let's check it out here.
Forza Horizon 6 is launching day one directly into Xbox Game Pass. Here's how the release schedule and tiers break down for the service. Release dates and early access. Standard launch, May 19th, 2026.
Okay, so it's
This
not
is
out
the
yet.
official day one release for Game Pass. You can play the full base game at no extra cost starting at midnight local time or 11:01 p.m. Central Standard Time / 9:01 p.m. Pacific Time on May 18th, depending on your region. Early access.
Okay, so yeah, you got 2 days to wait. Today is the 17th. So on Tuesday, you'll have access to Forza Horizon 6. Man, Game Pass, look, however I feel about it, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that doggone is a great service, man. I can't refute that. I don't have a real rebuttal. Xbox is doing their thing when it comes to Game Pass. So all I can do when you can't rebuttal something here, Crimson Phoenix, when I have no rebuttal, all I can do is salute it, man. So shout out to Game Pass, man. I'm telling you, they could be a contender. I'm talking a serious contender, Crimson. Could you imagine getting more people inside of that service? Like I said, as long as the service does not hurt gaming as a whole. That's always a fear of mine. You know, that it's actually having some... Hold on. Pardon me, y'all. Sorry about that. That it's going to have some kind of negative effects inside of the industry. That's my main concern. But as long as it won't, as long as it'll continue to let everybody still thrive, everybody be able to sell their games and things of that nature, then I have no problem with it. But I'm just imagining more people getting into the ecosystem, Crimson, and they discover Game Pass for the first time, and they're able to get their hands on all of these different games. And like I said, Microsoft, Xbox is getting better with these releases as far as the games go and the consistency of how many games are releasing. So as long as they can keep this up, I'm telling you, if they were to take away not take away, but if they were to make their games solely exclusive on their platform, man, these jokers would be dangerous. Dangerous, Crimson. But I digress. But let me go ahead and let me move on into the next email that I have. And it's coming from, yet again, the Triple OG, Mr. Cody Clark. So the title of his email is Backlog? I'm surrounded by actual logs. He says, I no longer, man, you starting this off very interesting, Cody. He says, I no longer have a backlog. I don't really have much that I am even looking forward to. Gamescape, what? Really? Cody, what? He says, I thought the new Expanse game was going to scratch an itch. However, that recent gameplay footage I saw made it look more mediocre. Massless effect. Massless effect, you say, my brother, and less explosive, expansive excellence. Listen, I got to give you that one. I was very, very much so looking forward to the Expanse. I said, this is going to give us that Mass Effect feel. It looked great from the trailers that I saw. But I'm with you, Cody. When I saw that gameplay, brother, when I saw that gameplay, I said, man, I don't know about this one. I don't know how this is going to turn out. So I'm with you 100% on that. That's a big question mark for me, too, as well. But let me continue with your email here, Cody. He says, I thought the new Expanse, hold on, I read that. He said, at this moment, I'm a strong past he's going to strong past the Dutchie on the left hand. Oh, shucks. Let you know about that one, Cody. Man, y'all remember that song back in the day? Pass the Dutchie on the... I ain't going to make a fool of myself. Let me continue with your email, brother. He says, man, were Starfield and Diablo 4 the last games I looked forward to? Jeez. I mean, I found out about Dispatch due to Instagram or Blue Sky after it came out. Oh, yeah, I have Dispatch too. Crimson going to light me up. I haven't played it yet. I mean, it's in the backlog. I have not played
Move this man.
Listen, man, I'm going to get to it. I definitely am going to get to it. Dispatch, I heard it was an awesome game. And I definitely look forward to getting to that one myself. He said, let me continue with your email, though. He said, golly, I'll be honest with you, though. I forgot I actually had Dispatch in the doggone backlog, to be honest with you.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm just saying, you just reminded me, Cody. Then I'm going to have to get to that game as well, my brother. Golly. Let me continue on with your email here. He says, I don't know if I'll have a future log, let alone a backlog ever again. That is living 60 miles from the closest, quote, city for you, or 125 miles from the closest, quote, big city, El Paso, Texas, and Las Cruces, New Mexico. Middle of nowhere life, Cody. God, hold on. Now, hopefully, Cody, you're being just a little extra with that, brother. Did you? Oh, brother, let me rewind that, brother. You said living 60 miles from the closest, quote, big city for you? End of quote, or 125 miles from the closest, quote, big city, end of quote, city, El Paso, Texas. Man, that's some rough living. That's rough, man. Man, brother, I can't imagine. You know, as I'm driving on some roads at night, Cody, you know, here on the East Coast, it's some parts of the country, just on the East Coast here. I'm not talking about being in the Midwest or the West Coast, anything like that. But it is still places on the East Coast, whether it's in Pennsylvania, like upstate, but the upper part of Pennsylvania, up in Buffalo, you know, just up in upstate New York. It's certain places, man, where you're driving and it is pitch black dark out there. It's like some places I do see, and they are way away from like a major city or even like a big Walmart or something like that. So I'm guessing over in Texas, as big as it is over there, I can imagine that that's probably a normal thing. As big as that state is, my goodness. But man, Cody, brother, listen, man, we don't want to lose you, Cody. We want to make sure that you keep on gaming, my brother. Keep on gaming. And I'm sure that's not what you're saying. You're not going to be gaming. You're just saying you don't think you're going to ever have a backlog. But you did say something, Cody, that was interesting to me. So nothing right now, nothing is even remotely having you look and say, I want to play that game. I know you said Expanse. The Expanse was that game. Didn't really pan out with that gameplay. I'm with you on that, but it's nothing else. This year has been amazing, Cody. We've had Pragmata, Resident Evil 9, Reanimal that has come out this year. We got Star Fox. I didn't even talk about the Star Fox remake from Nintendo. Those jokers came out the shadows with that one. I didn't even see that one coming. Them jokers just decided one day, hey, guess what? We're going to just show this off. It was amazing. It looked good. Jokers were talking. Star Fox looked nice. That was one game I never beat. I never beat the original Star Fox. I think I told y'all that. But I thought that was really, really, a cool announcement. So not even Star Fox, not even the alleged, soon to be coming out Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I mean, none of this stuff is really kind of tickling your fancy here, Cody. Golly, man. You have to let me know. Cody, let us know on next Sunday, brother, if there is something else that actually is catching your attention and maybe, could have you actually sit down, get on the sticks and play. I'm just curious to know, Cody, but as always, it's so excellent and amazing to hear from you, my brother. Shout out to you and thank you for your contribution to the show this week, man. Up next. Oh, man, Cody, I got another email from you, brother. Whoa, wait a minute. We had to get to that one in a second. But up next, we got the good brother. Oh, man, Mr. Reliable himself. We got C-Jack. Now, the title of, wait a minute, hold on, C-Jack. I think I got a voicemail from you, my brother. I sure do. Let me play your voicemail because I think the two actually tie into each other. So let's play your voicemail. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Keys. This is your boy C-Jack again. I was saying maybe that might be one of the ways to fix the problem, man. You was talking about that Allied. Go ahead and get it, my brother. But you talking about that Allied, maybe, I could get that Allied and be playing games, when I'm at work on break or stuff like that. I'm just thinking about it. That might solve some of my problem. But I have to make more time for something else, I guess. Take some time for something else. But maybe I should look at getting a handheld sooner or later. What do you think?
Man, I would tell you, man, shout out to you for that voicemail. It's always so great to hear from you, C-Jack. But I want to tie that into your one of your emails that you sent. And the title of the email is There Is No Time. He said, what's going on, Keys? So I know my backlog when it comes to games is crazy, man. He says, I remember back in the day, I would beat the game, complete it, get all the achievements, all the trophies. But now there's just not enough time in the day, Keon, especially having a family when it's all said and done. I hear you on that, my brother. He says, I might get 3 to 4 hours to play a game max. Us real gamers know when you are into a really good game, that 4 hours can fly, brother. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, C-Jack. Man, shucks. Man, that 4 hours goes by so doggone fast when you're into a really, really good game. It seems like it's a blink of an eye. But let me continue with your email. He says, you know me. You've known me for a long time, Keys. Yes, I have, brother. He says, you know how I get down with my games. And the problem I'm having, too, is I like all types of games. From RTS, yeah, this brother different. This brother is I guess you would also be possibly a connoisseur as well of gaming, because this brother is talking about RTSs. He plays games from RTS to dungeon crawlers to fighting, action adventure. And because of all that, I will never get to play all the games I set out to play, especially with the length of the games now. So my plan is to wait till I retire. His brother said his plan is to wait till I retire and play each game I missed in alphabetical order. That's my plan, and I'm going to try to stick with it. Shout out to you, C. His brother said he got a retirement plan already in place. His brother says, soon as I'm able to hang up my working keys, as far as like work goes, hang that up, man, I'm out of here. I'm going to be sitting there relaxing, days off, playing all of the games I never got a chance to play in alphabetical order. So this is what I would say, C-Jack. You ain't lying, man. Having a family is very, very tough. To be able to have that balance, having, just loved ones that you're living with, and you have to divide your time, among, your family and then your hobby. I mean, I go through it myself, and it's just me and the missus. I don't have any little ones or anything like that. So, and it's still hard for me to be able to do it, especially since I'm truck driving. I'm always on the road a lot. And that was the thing. Now, C-Jack, how I wanted to combine the two together when you talked about me talking about my experience with that Rogue Ally. Oh, man, listen, hey, C-Jack, brother, when I was inside of Micro Center, I'm not going to tell the whole story again because you guys have heard it, well, some of you have heard it. But when I picked up that Rogue Ally, C-Jack, man, I was like, this thing feels like a real controller. It feels so good in the hand. And as I'm playing, it's doing the vibrations, the stuff that your controller does. Like a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller. I mean, it wasn't haptic feedback, but, the Xbox controller doesn't have, not the haptics, not the triggers and stuff, but it was so comfortable in the screen. The screen, my brother, was so doggone nice. It was so clean. It was clear. It was big. The screen was big, C-Jack. It wasn't like back in the day playing a Game Boy Advanced, where Joker wasn't even backlit back in the day. Y'all remember that? If any of y'all had a Game Boy Advanced, you had to get the worm light to put over top of it so it could shine a light on it just so you could see the screen good enough. It was terrible. But it had some dope games. It had some okay games. I ain't going to oversell it. But, I mean, it's different now. You got the 3DS backlit, even the DS is backlit, so it's nothing new now. But I'm just saying where it's come from to today, it is really a different ball game, C-Jack. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sitting there, brother, and I'm like, look, if I could, man, if I could take this on the road, because this is the crazy thing, though, C-Jack, I got a Switch. Right, I only got the first Switch. Y'all know I don't have the second one yet. But I got a Switch, and I got a ton of games on there I need to get to. But I just don't feel the need to take it on the road. I don't want to take it with me. I don't want to play the Switch in handheld mode. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't. It's like, I'm just like, man, I don't want to deal with that thing. I want to play it on the screen, on the big screen. And maybe it's because It's a Nintendo product. It's by Nintendo. This ROG Ally here, I don't have any standard, any bar for this thing. I'm looking at it as, well, that's what you are. ROG Ally, you are a handheld. I don't know, some kind of mental thing, I guess, for me, C-Jack. So as I'm over there and I'm playing on this thing, I'm saying to myself, man, I'm kind of contemplating. I know you said, C-Jack, go ahead, pick it up, brother. I'm sitting there and I'm contemplating, man, that I could take some of these games on the road. And I know Crimson, hey, Crimson, you had to let me know, brother. Let me know this, Crimson. Can you play your Game Pass games on the ROG Ally? I'm just curious to know. I do know it's a difference between PC and console. I think console definitely has more games on their Game Pass subscription than the PC version does. But if I can get the first party games there and they can run on the ROG Ally, because that's going to be a big question mark right there, C-Jack, if they will run. Because those games can be demanding when it comes to the PC specs and things of that nature. But if I could get the best of both worlds, being able to play Xbox games on the go and third-party games as well, hey, C-Jack, I'm sitting here. I ain't lying to you, brother. I'm contemplating so hard on buying that doggone device. I'm sitting here wondering, am I going to play it? Am I really going to play it? I got so many things around here, C-Jack, that I have not opened, I have not played with or anything. All of these games and the wrapper. I just bought the doggone Astrobot refrigerator just to have it, you know, as a keepsake. You know, that's locked away. I ain't locked away, but put in the closet. I ain't even open it, CJ. I didn't even open the doggone thing. I just bought it, was like, this is nice. And
Move this man!
Hey, man, listen. I know I'm being a little wasteful. Doggone, Crimson Phoenix already told me, man, open these doggone games up and play them. Open them up. You got all these games in the wrapper. If I got $1, even 50 cents for every time you say a game has not been played or it is in a wrapper, his brother said he'd be rich. I'd be rich right along with you too, Crimson, because I would bet against me as well. But man, I'm sitting here though, C-Jack, and I'm saying, am I really going to play this thing? You know, if I picked it up, would I really play it? And truthfully, my brother, all joking aside, truthfully, man, it felt so good that I probably would. I would make sure that I took the precautions, get the case, and make sure that I get a screen cover if I could, to make sure that nothing happens to the screen or anything like that while I'm playing. Hopefully get some kind of coated, some kind of coated shell or something in case I might drop it, which, I mean, I don't think I would, but you never know. I like to be on the most, safest side I can be when it comes to things like that, because it costs a lot of money, or I'll just probably get a warranty on it where if something does happen, the screen cracks or something, I can take it back and, get a replacement. But, yeah. I'm thinking about it, C-Jack. I truly, truly am, my brother. I will definitely keep you guys up to date as far as what I decide to do with it, because I would love to have it in order to get some of the backlog down and to be able to play some games that I might not get a chance to play, at home. So you never know, C-Jack, in the next couple months or something like that, I might get it. I might get it. We'll see, man. We will see. But C-Jack, I want to get into, man, I know you sent me another one, my brother. I want to get into your other email, but you're right. The backlog, the time it takes, it's insane, man. But handheld gaming, C-Jack, that definitely might be our key to getting some of this backlog down, my brother. But let me see. Here's your other email right here, C-Jack. And this one is titled, Will They Survive? And I like this question. He says, what's going on, Keys? I just had a quick question. Do you think that new IPs are going to survive? I only say that because with the economy, tariffs, and everything that's going up with gaming, going up and up, it's possible that people aren't buying games like Soros, not just because it's hard or a hard genre, but because people really ain't got the money to invest in it now. Good point. He says games that people already know about, like Grand Theft Auto, people are going to pay $80. But for a new IP, you don't even know if you're going to like it. $80 is too steep, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts? Do you think new IPs are going to be okay? Listen, C-Jack, that is a fantastic question, man. Wow. Man, it's a lot. I mean, it's a little bit to unpack here because you're right. Man, when you look at a new IP and it's unproven, you don't have any history on it, this is their first outing, it's a gamble. It is a big gamble. Now, I know some people do wait for the reviews to come out to see, how a game actually is going to stack up. So I'll say this, though, C-Jack, because we got some examples. We have an example, matter of fact, just this year with Pragmata. Pragmata is a new IP, and it is doing extremely well. Matter of fact, I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm not going to look it up just because of for the sake of, the podcast going longer. But I think Capcom said that it did better than what they were expecting it to do. So we do see that a new IP, it can thrive. But I think that the component that makes Pragmata thrive a little bit better than maybe, let's say, another IP coming from a smaller developer, Capcom already has, they have the reputation now of making great games. They haven't really missed over the last couple of years, man. I don't want to go too far, but I would say I don't think Capcom has missed over like at least the last 5 years of releases that they've had. All of their games, their remakes, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 9, included with, like I said, the remakes, they have all done exceptionally well. And I think that has to do with, again, the reputation of Capcom. So when they release a new IP and Pragmata, it just looks like a game you want to play. Matter of fact, Crimson even said that he picked it up. Brother said, hell no, when he going to get to it, but he did pick it up. So it's been getting great reviews. People have been enjoying it. And it's a new IP that possibly could turn into a franchise. So it's like you have that example. But then, like you mentioned, though, which was a good call out, you have a game like Soros. It's a smaller game. Yes, of course, it's by Sony. It's first party. It's Housemarque. Housemarque has a very, very good reputation as well. But they also have that genre of game that I still can't think of right now. I think I remembered it in the last episode, but roguelike. The roguelike situation is a little bit of a turnoff for a lot of people, even though they have those, the settings where you can make the game a little bit easier and it's not as brutal as, what was the first game, C-Jack? Returnal. So that game is doing rough. It's doing really, really tough right now. And I guess at the end of the day, C-Jack, I do believe they can survive, right? But I think you have to have a few things going for you. You got to have some good scores. And I think Soros actually has a really, really good score. I just really think, C-Jack, and I could definitely be off, my brother, but I think it's because of the genre of game it is, being a roguelike. I can't even say that because you got games like Dark Souls that thrive in that doggone environment. So it's not like it's a lack of an audience that wants games that are brutally hard. That I'm never going to touch a Souls game, C-Jack. Never. I'm never going to somebody will have to pay me to actually get on stream and actually play that game. And I would really hope that nobody would offer me anything to play that game. But it would cost money for me to sit down and bang my head against the wall over and over with that kind of game. My gosh. But getting to the point, I think they can survive. It is a tough economy. People are very, very picky on what they're going to pick up, C-Jack, which is a very good point, man. And they do not want to take risks, of a game not being a great game. So I just think that it's possible, but I just think you have to have a good Metacritic score. You got to have a couple of things working for you. Again, like Capcom. Capcom is behind Pragmata. We know what Capcom does. That's why I think that game did so well. And you know what, C-Jack? Demos. A demo. That's how you could solve maybe a couple of hurdles that a new IP would have to jump over. Have a demo available. Pragmata had a demo. And I would have probably never even considered buying Pragmata, which I do want to buy. That's one I don't have, Crimson. I ain't got that one in the wrapper, brother. That's still at the store. But I definitely want to pick up Pragmata because I enjoyed the demo. I thought it was such an original kind of gameplay feature that I'd never experienced before. And I was like, dang, I would have never gave this game the time of day. But because of that demo actually swaying me, I was like, man, I'm going to pick this up when I get a chance. I probably won't be picking it up for a while, C-Jack. I do want to get some of my backlog down a little bit. But I think that if you do have a new IP and you want to get some buzz around it, have a demo. Put a demo up and put a good part of the game inside of the demo to have people actually want to get more. Have more, experience more. So I think it's a few things that they could do, C-Jack, to at least help the chances. Nothing is guaranteed. You can have a great game. A lot of great games get passed over every day, my brother. Where it's really good games out there, but because it doesn't have the hype, because it doesn't have a fan base that's clamoring for it, it gets overlooked. I'm thinking of the game. What was it? The Line? Oh, man, what was it? It was a game. I didn't even play the game, but so many people started talking about it. And it was like years later they were talking about it, where it was about I think it was a sniper. Since I can't remember the name of the game, I guess I can give away a little bit of the story, but it was a sniper. And it was like you actually found out. All right, spoiler alert for a game I can't remember the name of, but you found out that you were actually on the wrong side. You were actually a bad guy the whole time, but the way it was being presented to the player, you thought you were doing good. You thought you were on the good side of helping these people, but it turned out you were actually killing innocent people. It was like a crazy story attached to it, but that game didn't get much of any shine until years later. So, it just sometimes great games just get overlooked, unfortunately, but you just got to market it right and do the right things to have it survive, man. I know I'm being real long-winded with this, C-Jack, and I apologize to you, brother. I apologize to the listeners as well for being so long-winded, but it's such it's a very, how would you say, it's a loaded question. So I think that they can survive. You just have to put it in the right environment in order for it to survive. And it has to be a good game. It definitely has to be a really, really good game because eventually, word of mouth, it will spread for a good game. Eventually. Sometimes it might be too late, but, I think a good game is always going to be a good game no matter what. But C-Jack, hopefully I answered it. I feel like I left a little bit on the table there as far as explaining it, but hopefully I did good enough. But that right there, C-Jack, that was a doggone good question, man. Shout out to you, man. Man, I'm hoping that these new IPs do make it, though, CJ, because we need it. And you know what? I thought I was done with this with CJ, but it's such a good question. I would hope that they would be able to survive because we need new IPs. We can't have 1 million Assassin's Creeds. We can't have 1,000 Last of Us's. You know, as much as I love The Last of Us, don't get me wrong, man, one of my favorite franchises in gaming. But we need new blood. We need new stories that need to be told, you know, from these different developers. Like the game that's coming out is C-Jack is from CD Projekt Red developers. Think it's something Wolf. I forget the name of the company, but they're coming out with he's a vampire. Golly, how could I forget the name of the game? Dawn Walker. I think it's called Dawn Walker. It's a new IP, and it looks good, man. It looks really, really good. I'm hoping that, you know, them being from CD Projekt Red, that it'll actually blow up and it'll be a great game, because that could be another new IP that we have on the market. So I definitely want to see these guys make it, survive, and do great. But it's just going to take making a great game, getting the buzz up about the game, and getting the word out about the game as well. But I think it can happen, though, C-Jack. I think that new IPs can make it, again, in everything, whether it's movies, it's music, you know, gaming, books, you know, authors, things of that nature. Not everybody is going to make it. Even greats sometimes get overlooked. I mean, I'm thinking about, what's his name? He was a poet. And he lived here in Baltimore too. He made, oh boy. Man, I'm forgetting his name. Talked about the Raven. Some of y'all may know him. Oh my goodness, hold on. I got to figure this out, C-Jack. I was gonna let it go, but nah, I'm gonna find out who this guy is. Who was the guy from Baltimore that talked about the Raven? He was an author or a writer. What was his name? Because I cannot think of it for the life of me. Edgar Allan Poe.
That would be Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
He is famously associated with Baltimore, and his classic macabre poem, The Raven, is the exact reason Baltimore's NFL team is named the Ravens, complete with their mascot named Poe. Though he spent...
Exactly. There we go. So this guy, Edgar Allan Poe, he had so many works out there, things of that nature, and he unfortunately, he passed away broke. He didn't have any money, but he has one of the best poems, you know, that has ever been written. So, again, I'm being very long-winded with this, and I'm sorry, but even great games, great things get passed up on all the time, C-Jack. So the only thing I can say is I think it can survive. You just got to put it in the right environment in order to do so. All right, I'm done. All right, C-Jack, again, thank you so much for that question, brother. That was a really, really good question, man. But let me move on to Mr. Cody Clark's email here, which is titled The Sum of All Gamer Fears. Now, he says, when I get salty about the future of gaming, I normally hope to be totally wrong. Things like Copilot into Xbox, which I still think they will slow roll back on that over the next year unless Microsoft abandons AI totally. And I don't think they're going to abandon it totally. I think they got a lot of money invested in that. He says, that being said, as a method to farm and collect user data, they will find any way to collect any and all user info. Yeah, that's a big thing, man. Matter of fact, I was looking at a YouTube video on getting some clothes, and as I looked up those kind of clothes, all of a sudden I got an ad. I'm talking like 10 minutes later. It was an ad for the same clothes that I was looking up. So yeah, you're right. They are collecting info at a lightning speed pace, Cody. But let me continue with your email here. He says, as markets dry up, I am afraid of us having less and less of what we own. Whew, you ain't lying. He says we are just a few inches from the cliff where our game systems will be full-blown gaming monsters, but simple basic single systems on a chip that will stream our game from some mega server / data center from some nowhere place in Montana or Oklahoma, where power and water will be taken from local low-income communities. Listen, man, hey, Cody, that's an interesting thought, my brother. I'm thinking about movies right now because a lot of movies now are streamed. You don't own it. It's under the service. So if you get rid of the service, then you no longer have access to the movies. And I'm thinking now that the digital is so high. The digital rate of people buying games digitally versus physically. I mean, man, brothers like me in trouble. I mean, I like Cody said, I am on the edge of the mountain, inches away from falling off. And the thing is they don't really want you to own anything. They don't. I don't think that's a conspiracy. I don't think that's far-fetched. I think that is just the reality of the situation. They want to control everything. And them, meaning the company. They want to do what's best for them at the end of the day. And I mean, that makes sense. But, excuse me, I definitely do not agree with it. I think that they would love to take all of the power away. They would love to not have any competition from these stores, whether it be Best Buy, GameStop, Target, any of these stores. That's why Sony is getting sued now, because they wanted to only sell their games digitally on their game store. They weren't giving the other retailers the digital versions of the game, and they got called out for having a monopoly when it came down to it. So they are trying. Cody is absolutely right. They are going to continue to try and push this agenda over and over again to the point where we no longer own our games at all, and they control everything. Cody said, man, eventually it's going to get to the point where they just streaming. You're just streaming your game in. You don't own it. Yeah, you have access to it, but you don't own it. So I fully agree with you on that one, Cody. Let me finish up with your email here, though. He says we've already got a bunch of programs running. In some super limited cases, if you put your hand over one eye, hold your tongue at the right angle, don't mind logging onto your Walmart account and letting it sell you 2 minutes of ads every time you turn your Vizio TV on. It can almost make sense. I hear you. Now, you sent me a link here, Cody. Let's see what this link is. corporate.walmart.com. It says Walmart completes acquisition of Vizio. Oh, you wasn't bull jiving. This is Vizio. They own Vizio? Says acquisition will introduce new customer entertainment experiences, accelerate growth at Walmart, connect the company's advertising business. Bentonville, what's that, Arkansas? Bentonville, it says December 3rd. Wow, this happened almost 2 years ago. Says today Walmart announced the completion of the company's acquisition of Vizio. Doggone, man, they selling all kind of stuff. Didn't Sony just sell their TV division? Doggone, TLC or TCL? Didn't they just sell theirs to TCL? I think this is Interesting. Says the closing of the deal follows the expiration of the waiting period under federal regulations. So yeah, well, they own Vizio. Man, this is a long article. I'm not going to be able to read it all, Cody. I should have. Man, how much was that? It says with fiscal year 2024 revenue of $648 billion, Walmart employs approximately 2.1 million associates worldwide. Golly, Walmart is getting to the doggone money, man. They got a bag, $648 billion. Yeah, they could definitely afford Vizio, I'm sure. But yeah, he's just talking about, Cody is just saying that, the ads and things of that nature are just going to continue to rev up. But he says that they bought Vizio not to offer cheap TVs, but because it allows them to inject ads and make reviews off of them. The retailer's closed loop omni-channel retail media business in the U.S. grew 26% in Q3 of this year. Says the old adage was, quote, if you don't pay for it, you are the product, end of quote. Now it is going to be, quote, you will pay every month and you are the product, end of quote. Do that. Oh, man. Oh, I couldn't do it. Oh, Cody said do it in my best Morgan Freeman voice. I can't even remotely even try to do a Morgan Freeman voice. I don't know. Let me try. Let's see. If you don't pay for it, you are the product. Now it's going to be, you will pay every month and the product, quote, man, I messed that all up. Listen, brother, man, thank you for this email, man. I'm going to get up out of that. I appreciate that. Man, that was terrible. Man, that was horrible. Horrible impersonation. Man, listen, but no, seriously, though, it is really going to get to that point. Everything is transactional. And I get it. Again, I'm not trying to vilify any of these companies. I'm not trying to, say anything bad, but my gosh, that is a little scary though. And not trying to do any of the, the extras on it. Oh man, they're watching us and all. Yeah, we all know. I'm sure we all know that we're being watched, by this point. No, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. And I wish there were some things we could do about it. I really do. But we're in this situation where I've heard this multiple times, you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. And it truly seems like we're edging closer and closer to that. And it's all because of convenience. That's a big key factor. And I'm not sitting here trying to preach because shugs, man. There's some things I definitely appreciate about it being convenient. Amazon, man, shoot, you need something in a hurry. If you got Amazon Prime, you're doing pretty doggone good. You get it overnight. Sometimes it don't show up overnight, but, you get it in a relatively fast time span. I came from the era where stuff used to take, and for younger people, they might say, how the heck was that possible? But I remember coming up in a time where it would take 6 to 8 weeks for stuff to come to your door. And you be waiting so long you forgot you ordered it. My parents, I don't know how many times, they would be like, golly, I forgot where did I get this from? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that happened like almost 2 months ago. I ordered that. It was what was it, QVC, I think back in the day, where you could buy stuff off of, on TV. It was crazy. People were going insane over this stuff back then. Older ladies were calling up, I just purchased, my jewelry and I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. It was a heck of a time. So now going from 6 to 8 weeks time, of waiting to going to a couple of days, man, that stuff is unreal. So you're talking about the convenience factor, being able to download the games, not having to burn gas, not having to wait in line. It's convenience, man. And I think convenience is an awesome thing. It's one thing that I love doing when I'm shopping at Sam's Club, and that is the self-checkout. Man, that self-checkout is life. It's life-changing. You don't have to sit and wait in the line. You just pull up the app on your phone and you can check out each item without having to wait in the line. Then when it's time to go, they give you that QR code or the bar scan, and you get to walk straight out the door. Ain't got to wait in line or anything. It's the convenience. Now, granted, I'm sure as I'm scanning in all of these items, it's been proven, Cody, that I will get, random things that might come in through an email. Hey, would you like, some beef tips or, some chef salad or something like that? Just all kind of stuff be coming up, fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, yeah, I know they got me. They're already, reading the data and things of that nature. So a lot of this stuff is just convenient based, how they're getting the data, and got a lot of different programs, man. But again, just getting to the point of, just trying to hold on to being able to own things, and that the gaming landscape is just really, really, it's in a very, very interesting space, man. It truly is. I don't think gaming is going anywhere. I think it's definitely it's going to go through some growing pains here over the next couple of years. But the things that are happening, this is to a certain degree, we have not, this is uncharted territory to a certain degree, and we'll have to see what happens as it unfolds. But yeah, consoles actually being able to just stream the game in, and you don't own the game, you can't trade the game, you can't sell the game, you just have a accessible version of a game. That's definitely coming. Because again, digital, they like we went over the last episode, they already have something that they're working on. It's not fully out there yet, but they're working on being able to have your physical games that you own right now actually be able to convert them into digital games. So if that's not a red flag that they're trying to get you up off of the physicals and trying to control everything, I don't know what else we would need to see. But as always, Cody, I really, really appreciate your emails here, brother. Thank you for all of them. I wish I had read the article. My apologies ahead of time. Just didn't have the time to do it, my brother. But thank you again for this email. And yes, very interesting times, man. We could definitely be looking at the possible death of an era in gaming where physical copies of games were available, because it looks like, I'm hoping they don't, but it's looking like they could possibly make it so all of the games that we get next generation are all digital only, no disk drive. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. But shout out to you, Cody, for the great email, my brother. And finally, taking us home this week. Oh, man. Taking us home for the first time even. We have my good brother, One Subset Tekken, who says that the title of his email is, I have a lot to say. Oh, yes, you did, my brother. Here we go. He says, I'd like to just discuss Asha Sharma. And I'm not trying to dog her out or badmouth her or anything. I'm pleased with the recent changes she's made in Xbox Biosphere. However, oh man, here we go. My brother about to go in. He says, I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket with her, because with the previous leadership, hold on. Let me say that again. He says, I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket with her, because with the previous leadership burned me so bad with their trip. Man, come on, brother. God, dog. They burned us all. We all got some, man, we got third degree Xbox burns from them jokers. Let me continue. He says, He says, Phil and Sarah were giving us all the chin music, but actual changes or moves, I like that the chin, they were just doing a whole lot of talking, but weren't doing any actions. You ain't lying there, my brother. He says, hold on. Okay, actual change. Hold on. Man, I'm so excited. Let me calm down. Golly, what's up, Seth? Hold on, brother. Man, I'm so excited to read this email. He says, all right, let me start from here. He says, Phil and Sarah were giving us all the chin music, but actual changes or moves were something to be desired for. He says, I'm glad Asha invited Seamus Blackley back to Xbox headquarters. Yeah, I'm so interested to know what they talked about. What's upset? Very interested. Who knows if we'll find out, but I'm sure they had a heck of a conversation. He says, hopefully she'll take whatever was discussed to heart and understand that fans of the Xbox have been holding on to Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond's words for the longest, and it was always ended up in okay fans. You ain't lying, brother. He says this year is going to be the year. This year is going to be the year, and it would never happen. This brother's telling the absolute truth. We sat there year in, and now I'm including myself in this one because I had an Xbox One. We were sitting there every year. E3 would come up, and we would be so excited. We would be so ready to see greatness hit the stage. These announcements. Always excited, and we would always get let down. We always got duped. We never had an E3 show that was phenomenal. It was pain. Absolute pain. It was a hurtful era with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond. Now, I will give them credit because to a certain degree, my good brother One Sub said they went out on a high note when they showed off Doom. Whatever that year was, they showed off Doom. I think that was the E3. If this was 2020, I think it was the 2024 E3 where they had Doom up there, the Dark Ages, and that started the show. Oh, man, it was hit after hit after hit. And then at the end of the show when they showed off Gears of War, E-Day, oh, man, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal show. We were excited, charged even if it was, if it were. But then they came back that next year, and I said, here we go, all back over again. The same stuff that we had been seeing before, they're back at it again.
Y'all killing me with this.
It was absolutely mid at best. So me and this brother, all of us, Xbox fans, have been through the doggone ringer, man. It's been a hard time being an Xbox fan. But let me continue with your email, brother. You hit a doggone nerve with that part of your email for me, my brother. He says, when everybody just kept saying, this is going to be the year, we're going to come back, it's going to be amazing. And it just never happened. That's why I don't have an Xbox today. He says, I want Miss Asha to actually succeed. When she succeeds, we succeed. But she needs to understand that there might be a minority of Xbox gamers that feel kind of burnt on hoping that Xbox is going to finally kick open doors and dance on tables and act like they own something. Listen, brother, man, One Subset, we have been waiting for such a long time to see that. And then the thing that was so doggone, it let us all down. One Subset, the thing that let us all down, my brother, and I'm sure I'm not trying to speak for you. You can tell me if you agree or not. But when they finally got themselves in a good position with a ton of IPs in their back pocket, They just doggone go ahead and just throw it away. They throw it away, give it to the competition, and just say, hey, can't we all just get along? I said, Phil Witt is up with this We Are the World, We Are the Children mess.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I said, Phil, you gotta be kidding me. Here it is, you are at the finish line. And you got all of these IPs in your stable, and this is what you decide to do. Come on. This brother said that no game would go to another platform unless it was inside a Game Pass. I didn't forget. Like one subset, man, you got it all just coming back to my brain, brother. Man, all of the Xbox promises and all of the letdowns, brother. God, dog. Man, that stuff is still on me to this doggone day. I got my eyes closed right now, just thinking about all of the things that Phil and Sarah and Matt Booty, all of these jokers, man, talking about this is an Xbox, this is an X. I could do it. I said, ain't no third way. I can stick around with a brand like this one subset. Ain't no doggone way I can do this. I can't. So I did not buy Xbox, but I love what Asha's doing. And it seems like you enjoy it too. You're just letting her know, hey, listen, it's going to be some people out there that feel a certain kind of way. Yeah, you're saying all of these things, but listen, we've been very much so, gaming wise, of course, downtrodden. We've been hurt. Feelings have been hurt. And the trust is not there to a certain degree. The only thing let me finish with your email, brother. Man, you got me feeling a certain way. He says, on the topic of exclusive games, I would personally say whatever is slated on PlayStation 5, let it go ahead and be released. No. He says, but after that, no more. He says, after that, no more Halo, no more Gears. No more Forza. Absolutely not Forza, because they like that. Oh, they like that, man. Take that away. He says, I know this is a hurdle for Xbox in general, but it's something that needs to be done. Give some value to the brand. And as far as Fable, no, they can't have that on PlayStation. That's just how I see it. Maybe the dollar signs would change that opinion at Xbox, but just give some value to the brand. How are you going to launch Helix and not have a game or several games that people want to play, but you can only play them on your console? Enough of my long rant. It's just my 2 cents. Play games, people. Very well said, my brother. Doggone. Oh, we got to dive into this. I say don't give them anything. Okay, the games that got to come out. All right, Crimson. I said Crimson, pardon me. One subset, you might have a point with that one, my brother. I still don't want them to get it. I don't want it. I want Xbox to tell me as a PlayStation 5 only owner, if you want to play these games, get my doggone console. That's the only way you're going to play them. I want them to do it. I want them to. And I don't buy into the stuff of, man, you should want everybody to play the games. Guess what? Everybody can play the games. Go and buy the console. We didn't have conversations like this when I was growing up. We just didn't. I'm about to be the old brother in the room back in my day, doggone it. We just appreciated the games for being out wherever they were. If you wanted to play Samurai Showdown, guess what? Doggone it, brother, you better be rich because you got to get that on a Neo Geo. If you wanted to play Super Mario, you knew you had to go out and get a Nintendo system. You wanted to play Sonic at that time, you had to get a Genesis. This is just what it was. When nobody complaining, oh man, this is anti-consumer. Did I have to go out and buy another product in order to play your game? Man, brother, that wasn't even it. That wasn't it. It was competition. At the end of the day, it's competition. We should all want these jokes. I say it all the time. Darn this, let's get along. Let's have fun. When we all play, we all win. Phil, God dog, that brother was, man, I was so heated with this brother. Man, what's upset? I was so mad at Phil Spencer. Now, when I say being mad at Phil Spencer, I'm truly, truly just talking about his position at Xbox. I don't know Phil Spencer, the man. I don't have any problems with Phil Spencer, the man. It's just the man that was behind the Xbox brand. That brother, I would get so frustrated. It's like a coach on a team. It's like you don't know the coach. You don't know this man's life. You don't have anything against him personally, the coach, as a man, but as that coach, as the person leading the team, oh, you got a major problem with that joker. You got a major problem with that brother right there because he's leading the team. And I have a personal interest in the team. I'm buying jerseys. I'm showing up to the game. I'm getting my stuff signed by players having to pay for their signature. AK, I'm out here buying your console. I'm buying your games. I'm buying Game Pass. I'm inside your ecosystem. I am invested in you. So what happens, it affects me. And I'm telling you, it would be so frustrating. I'm sure all of y'all felt it during that era. And I never thought I would ever leave Xbox. I said, I got to go. This right here, I cannot stand beside this. No, I do not agree with these moves that are being made. I got to take my ball and you know what? I got to take my controller and go home. I got to get out of here. I got to go. And since then, I ain't never been back. And I got to say, I have been pretty okay up until recently. I will say you brothers over there on Xbox, y'all eating pretty good right now. I'll be honest with you. Forza Horizon 6, definitely not my kind of game, but man, it's undeniable the scores that are out there. One sub said this game is doing amazing. And like you said, they get nothing. Don't give them Forza. Don't give us Forza. I'm not going to say them. I am them. I am on PlayStation 5. Don't give me Forza. I don't want your Fable. I don't want your Gears of War. I don't want your Halo. I don't want any of it. Take it off the console that I have and make me buy your console. Make me buy it because I want competition at the end of the day. I need y'all doing whatever it takes to get me over on your platform. Asha Sharma. If you hear this, then no, please take your games off of PlayStation. It's not gonna make them want to buy a console. I sat there and I said, why the world? When I was hearing, man, one subset, when I heard people say, man, just give them a taste. If they let you try the game over on PlayStation, it's gonna make you want to go out and get the Xbox. They let you play Forza, or they let you play Gears of War, Fable, all of these games on your PlayStation. Guess what that's going to make you do? It's going to make you want to go out and get an Xbox. I said, man, are you kidding me? Do you really think that a person that can get your game on another platform, is going to say, yeah, now I want to go out and get that console because I get to play the game on this console.
He was on crack. Crack cocaine.
You gotta be kidding me. Ain't no doggone way. I get all of your games on the console I prefer. Why do I need to go over there and get your console? You're giving me everything I need over here. So to your point, One Subset, brother, they have to do this. They have to give that value. Like you mentioned, they have to give their player base a reason to stay. They have to give people like myself a reason to go over there and get into their ecosystem. So I'm 1,000% with you. Asha, she's been doing a great job. The one thing I will say, One Subset, man, pardon me, brother, is that Asha has not just been talking, though. And I know Cody, this brother, thinks that this is all a smoke screen. You know, this is what they're telling the people, but in the background, they have no intentions on doing anything any different. But I will say, at least at this moment in time, because we can only go off of what we know currently in any situation. Of course, when more data comes out and we get to figure out other things that were happening in the background, then we can, figure out a different deduce, what they were actually thinking, as it was happening. But right now, we can only go off of what we have right now. I don't even think I said that word correctly. Is it to do? I tried to sound smart right there. Pardon me. Listen, we can only go off of what we got today. But tomorrow, more information may come out and we can say, oh, yeah, they was bluffing. Cody was right the whole time. They had no intention on making a real run at it. But we'll see. But One Sub said, brother, this email right here. Brother, you took me in a time, man, you took me back to a time, brother. And I'm going to tell you, like I was telling you before, all of y'all, I had that moment flash in my brain when I saw PlayStation 5 during that Stranger Than Heaven, I guess it wasn't a show, but just showing off the game itself over on the Xbox channel, YouTube channel. I said, they haven't learned. Man, they haven't learned. But we'll see. Asha, she's been definitely putting her actions where her mouth has been, and I've been enjoying what she's done so far. I just hope that she can continue with this trajectory and give everybody out there a reason to get an Xbox. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping, just like you, One Subset, that she continues to move forward and understand that people have not had the best thoughts about Xbox over the last couple of years, like 7 to 8 years. It's been in a bad place ever since, and we all can trace it back to when it happened. We talked about it already. This all goes back to Phil Spencer when he said that, let me remember the game, and we're about to wrap this up because we're almost 2 hours in. Quantum Break in 2016, when he said Quantum Break was coming to PC day and date with the console version, everything was off. Everything it was chaos in the streets. I'm being a little extra with that, but people were really thrown off like, wait a minute, what? That ain't never happened before. And even if it was happening, it was never put front and center on the stage. People automatically, I can tell you I did. I started thinking right then and there, man, what the world is going on? This ain't a good look. Why are you telling me it's going to be on PC? Matter of fact, why are you even discussing PC right now? We on console. I was immediately on guard. And ever since then, how has it worked out for Xbox? All of these, hey, play the game on this platform. It's going to make you want to buy the other platform. I don't know which y'all was on with that one. But I'm hoping they'll get back to the basics here, One Subset, and just, do what the people are asking. Make the games exclusive. Give it about 2 years, maybe even 3 years. You're going to have to ride it out for a little bit. Don't do 6 months or something, be like, oh, man, it ain't working. You got to give it some time. I would say give it 3 years. Continue to keep dropping these games. Fable, I believe, is going to be a banger. I think the Gears of War E-Day is going to be amazing. I think that, the other games that we'll be releasing are going to do great. They're going to do great. Their trajectory, in my mind, is only gone up since the beginning. They're getting better. And I really believe in the talent that they have over there, that they can make some really, really good games. Like I said, Senua Saga, God, dog. Man, them people over there, Ninja Theory, man, they made me just that much of a bigger fan of what they're able to do. So they got all of their ducks in a row. They got the IPs, one subset. And all they got to do is execute and continue to execute at a high level. They already got a game of the year, not a game of the year contender, but inside of the racing genre, having a, how can I say it? Having a sports game of the year, something like that, racing game of the year contender, being the best in its class. They already have that sewn up. With the amazing reviews that they're getting with their game, I know that that's going to be on the stage at the Video Game Awards. So just keep on racking up those W's, and I'm telling you, they can be in a very, very good spot. But with that being said, again, man, please, one subset, don't make this your last time writing in. You evoke some real doggone emotions out of me with that one. So shout out to you, my good brother. Man, this was a stacked show. Woo! Almost 2 hours in. Let me tell you, I can't thank y'all enough. Man, shout out to you, Cody Clark. Shout out to you, Crimson. Shout out to you, C. Jack. And shout out to you, One Subset, for really making this show what it was. Because like I say all the time, if you guys aren't calling in or writing in, the show does not happen. And I'm saying, I think, man, we got to be on like a 2-month run? Maybe even teetering on 3. It has never been like this. Never. So I'm just really, really appreciative to you guys. And I'm extremely appreciative to the listeners as well for tuning in and listening. And I'll say this, man, I will give you once again a personal invitation to you, the listeners. If you're listening right now and you have something that you want to ask, something that you want to discuss, I want to hear from you. This is what this is for. This is for you guys. So don't be shy. Call in, write in. You know I'm going to read it, or I'm going to play your voicemail, and we're going to get to it. And how you can be a part of the show is simple. You can do it 2 different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice literally be heard like my good brother C-Jack. Or you can email the show. And the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. So with that being said, guys, as always, thank y'all for being here. And with that said, because we're going to wrap it up here, but we will be back at it on Wednesday, where we're going to be talking about some of the latest gaming news. So until Wednesday, make sure that you get out there and you play some games and enjoy yourself. See you guys on Wednesday.